Hello and welcome back to another live stream. I'm just waiting for you guys to tune in. Let's see what's happening. Jan 10th. Today's Jan 10. Okay. Hold up. I need the link. Okay, there we go. I just want to see if the stream link works. I just want to see if the... Perfect, it works. Let me open the live chat. Oh shit, man. I think I gotta do it from here. Sound is much better than yesterday. Yeah, good to know, but I haven't really changed anything. I'm just using the same setup. Are you guys here? Okay, where do I see the number of people that are live right now? Do I get any analytics for this? Okay, cool. Let me start. I guess it's just you and me, Thomas, Mr. Thomas. Okay, let me start with what happened for Bitcoin. Actually, let's go back to this chart. It's much better. All right, so as I mentioned yesterday, let me do a quick recap. If you guys missed the yesterday's live stream, I mentioned that stochastic indicator versus the price has been a pretty has given a pretty accurate result considering at least for the local top formation, right? If the stochastic goes above the overbought zone and produces a bearish crossover, the chances of a retracement are pretty high. That's happened 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times so far, and the 10th one is currently in play. The only difference is that if the RSI is above the overbought when this bearish crossover happens in the stochastic RSI, the magnitude of the correction is way more, right? The first time it happened was basically on 6 November when Bitcoin price dropped roughly 27%, and the second time that happened was in mid December where Bitcoin price dropped roughly 11%, right? And right now we have a similar situation on our hands right now where we're seeing RSI overbought, stochastic overbought plus a bearish crossover. So it has played out pretty good here on a 6-hour time frame. Let's switch to 1-day time frame to see the TR indicator flashed a sell signal, and depending on how this candlestick closes today, we still have 10 hours to go in terms of the UTC plus 530 IST. Let's set up New York, right? So yeah, so depending on how this candlestick closes, we might see a retracement. If we get a daily close below the open, or if this becomes a red candle, then I'm pretty sure we're going to start going lower, right? And another interesting thing here is that if you look at the same setup on a 1-day time frame, the stochastic is again in the overbought zone. This has happened only 3 times in the last 2 months. So just a sec. Yep, so the first time, again, 5th or 6th November. Second time, overbought was here. This is negligible because the stochastic didn't stay above, and we're getting right now. So yeah, things are looking pretty good here from a bearish perspective. If you're a bear right now, it's looking honestly, it's looking pretty good. Going down to a lower time frame perspective, you can see that we're still hovering inside this FVG. So since this FVG is done, I'm going to take this out. Let's dive into a lower time frame to see what's happening. Right, so currently we are forming a range here for BTC getting rejected at the midpoint. Either we see something like this. If you get this thing, I'm looking to short this right here, right? But there is a pretty good chance we don't do that and price just fails to go down. And then once we get this is your next signal to start shorting it. Basically another short from here. So yeah, this is what I'm expecting from Bitcoin going forward. Ideally, I do want to short this because on a 1-hour time frame, you can see there is a clear break in market structure. So nice, good to know. Good to know you guys are here, right? So ideally, I want to see this. This looks like a pretty good market structure shift, but I want to wait for another one, right? Because we could potentially see this scenario playing out because of the triple tap setup possibility here. First tap, deviation, and then the third tap. Right, so this is from a scalping perspective. This is a neat little market structure shift to the upside, and then we have a retracement. We should have, like, if I'd come like 15-20 minutes earlier, then maybe we could have gotten something, opened a long position, something like this, right? So yeah, this is what I'm expecting for Bitcoin. Yeah, and then maybe once we get a deviation above 17.4K over here, it's a pretty good place to start shorting. Yeah, so yeah, we could attempt a pilot short. Like right now, the long position is looking pretty good, but a pilot short over here depends where we get the swing high over here, right? We could get something like this, and if we do that, then I'm gonna keep my stop loss just above the swing high over here, and then we could start, like, if you guys want to scalp, I think the best place to book profits would be somewhere around here, maybe around here, right? Roughly 17K seems like a pretty good place to book profits and be done with it. But if you look at the overall, like, a swing trade perspective and how the price has dropped over here, here, and here, I think there's a pretty good chance we collect liquidity resting below these higher lows formed basically since November 21, 2022. Yeah, the targets haven't really changed for me. Equal lows at 15.4K is what I'm targeting. If I do enter a short here, if you guys haven't checked out the yesterday's live stream, please make sure to go and check it out, because in that I explain this box basically is where I would set up my swing short positions. Right, yep, there you go. So these are the 3 swing short positions that I mentioned yesterday, right? If you guys followed this trade, you have a pilot short position already open. Ideally, you don't want these 2 positions playing out, but if they do play out, then these are where you can compound your shorts, and ideally have all your stop losses somewhere around 18.8K, because that's Yeah, that is a pretty good place, right? Considering the previous sweep of the swing highs, right? Another thing that I want to show you guys is, okay, cool. I'm not going to be doing this right now. So yeah, let's just proceed with this. This is what's happening with Bitcoin. Ethereum, right? I think something really interesting has happened, as I mentioned yesterday. Yeah, so we did get, okay, we're pretty close. This is a valid triple tap setup, in my opinion. Like if you look at this, right, a valid triple tap setup, retest, deviation, test, and we have so much liquidity resting here around 1160, 1150. It would be careless of me to not short Ethereum right now, right? So what I'm going to do is something similar, right? Like Bitcoin is also showing a similar structure. It's happening with Ethereum as well. Currently, we've set up this range. Ideally, I want to see a range high deviation followed by a rejection and a retest of the range high. This is where I would want to short. Book profits around here if you're scalping. If not, the targets, the long-term targets, or the swing trade targets, are basically resting below these swing lows formed here, right? And equal lows formed at 1150. So 1150 seems like an amazing place to book profit. So yeah, so either short right now, book profits around 1150, or what you could do is, instead of waiting for a deviation of the range high, if we get a sweep and a rejection at the range low, this is where you short again. So these are the two places I'm looking to short. Let's see what's happening on a 4-hour time frame with respect to RSI. Okay, prices produced a higher high from this point on a 1-hour time frame. A pretty steep drop in momentum on a 1-day time frame. We are reaching for the overbought zone. Yeah, nothing really interesting. I wouldn't be surprised, like if we sweep 1150, then the RSI should potentially technically reset at the midpoint. That's what I'm looking at. Yep, so that's what's happening with Ethereum. XRP, honestly, it's pretty blah right now. Nothing's changed since our last discussion. Do I have those? Yep, so I'm expecting it to stay between these two lines. I wouldn't even be surprised if the price gets rejected at this declining trend line, connecting all these swing highs, right? So yeah, I think 0.363 is like a good place to book profits. Even now, if you guys want to book profits, go for it. It's a pretty good place to book profits and be done with it. Yeah, because XRP has become lackluster in terms of its performance, and also if you look at it on a 1-day time frame perspective, this does look like a big descending triangle information, right? From like the measurement rule, like either do this or this, whatever. Let's be conservative and do this. Select the height, and in that case, you're looking at it drop down to 0.264, and I've already marked it as a support, right? Okay, basically you don't want it to go down all the way down anywhere below 0.288. So maybe we get something like this, right? This wick that happened here on 2nd Jan, something like that would be a good place to buy, right? Do this, something like this. So basically whatever happened here looks to be happening over this here. So wait, I think you guys might be a little confused. So let me turn off a couple of things. Okay, cool. So what I'm saying is, we saw a descending triangle form here, right? So what happened here is that after the price broke, it dropped quite drastically, found a support, bounced off of it, and again slid into consolidation. So basically what happened here is happening on a larger scale if you look at this thing. Right, so basically it's a descending triangle inside descending triangle. And if we do get this drop, like I mentioned, right, a lot of liquidity here, a little bit of liquidity collected all the way down up to this point. Still a little bit of liquidity left here. So yeah, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we came down to 0.288, deviated below that, and then recovered and then consolidated here again, right? Unless anything interesting happens from the lawsuit perspective, I don't see this going anywhere, right? And the fact that the daily RSI is still below the midpoint is something, says something about what's happening with the XRP market, right? Like nobody's interested in XRP right now. So perhaps we can take another look at XRP once we reclaim 50, or we're in the process of reclaiming the 50. Right. So until then, I think you just want to ignore XRP. So yeah, let's. I have another coin that I want to discuss. Yesterday's short, right, on a 15-minute time frame. Read this like a book. We had a distributive pattern on a 15-minute time frame. This is a classic Wyckoff distribution. And yeah, things are looking pretty good here. I do not want to book profits just yet. I feel like we should at least retrace to the midpoint of this whole rally that I mentioned yesterday, right, which is at 1.175. But I'm looking to book profits at this particular order block here, the highest point of which is 1.148, right? I'm booking at 1.144, so that's where I'm going to book profit, right? Yeah, so that's what's happening with Optimism. There was another coin that we discussed. I think even that is looking pretty good. Yeah, so we got this, right, as discussed yesterday. I mentioned that we once we get a deviation above the range high and a push back into the range, that's where we should potentially short. And as you can see here, we've already gotten that here. Deviation of the range high as mentioned, and we're currently, consolidating around the midpoint. So this is just a crash waiting to happen for Lido. I'm just waiting for Bitcoin price to show its hands, basically. Oh, so yeah, just give me 1 second. Yeah, so Lido's done. I think Ocean, I explained. Yeah, Ocean's also done, right? I said we could potentially short this here, but there's a good chance we go all the way up to 70.5, or at least this resistance level here at 0.2063, which was drawn from the price candles formed on 4th of November. As you can see, if I take out all this clutter, right? Forget this, forget everything over here. Right, I mentioned using Fib tool, right? Fib tool is pretty easy. Find a nice impulse move in a single direction. Use the Fib from the top of the impulse move to the bottom of the impulse move, which is over here. This is just a deviation, right? So you could have extended down here, but you can see that this was just a liquidity run below these equal lows. So I'm going to consider this particular move, initial move, and we've reached the 70.5 Fib. 70, yeah, this is an amazing play. This would have been an amazing place to short, but it happened outside of my time zone, so I'm not worried about that. On a 1 hour time frame, you can see we've got a clear break in market structure. And if you just take a look at this rally, I think we're almost at 70.5 right now, 62. I think 62. Yep. So we're currently hovering around 62. There is a chance we push all the way up to 70.5. So that's where you should potentially be shorting. Or if you just want to play it safe, start here. Open a pilot position from where it is right now. And like if you look at this whole move, right, this is where it actually began, right? So I'm gonna use my Fib from this point to this point. I do want to use this one, but just for the sake of the wicks aren't that important over here. So if you look at this, the midpoint is around here. Now ideally this is where you want to book profits, but considering our stop loss, the trade doesn't really look good in terms of risk to reward ratio, right? So what I would do is ignore the stop loss for now, just keep it there for the sake of risk management. But once the price starts going down, like for example on a 15-minute time frame, right, once we get something like this, a swing high, which collects the liquidity above these highs and fills the inefficiency present here. I think we potentially get rejected here at this one. Let me draw it a little. Right, so I think we get rejected at this point. So once we get a rejection here and we get a market structure shift like this, right, then you could choose to put your stop loss here, which is extremely less risky in my opinion, right? Because you have a lot of you're allowing the price to move a lot, right? But if you want to play it risky and reduce your basically exposure, you could place a stop loss around 0.219, right? But ideally what I would do is keep this as it is right now, wait for a rejection at 0.2183, and yeah, book profits around this point at 0.1949195. Or if you just want to, you don't want all the hassle, just place your entry limit orders around 0.218, and then yeah, just forget about it. This looks a good trade, a 10% downswing, risking 7.5%. So this is the next one, right? What else did we discuss yesterday? ENS. Yeah, ENS already hit take profit, and it went exactly how I described it. Deviated above the range high, came back inside, straight drop, mount stop, except for this minor pullback. Perfect, right? I hope at least one of you guys took this trade. Right, so yeah, this is looking pretty good. ENJ. What else did we discuss yesterday? Near? Did we discuss near yesterday? So we didn't really get the push up to 0.17 that we expected. Got rejected at this POC. Perfect rejection with the bearish divergence. Near has also produced consecutive market structure shifts, which is good. No inefficiencies left anywhere. Perfect price action. I think we might get, like, see, this is not that great of a liquidator in my opinion. So if we get another push up, don't be surprised. Right, so this setup is still in play. Right, so note this down if you want. There's gonna be I'm gonna upload this video after the live stream. So yeah, somebody asked me about ADA. Let's see what's up with ADA. Okay, nice little bullish divergence here, followed by a run up. I think yeah, this is a perfect pull off top. Collected liquidity here. Okay, how long is it? Okay, amazing. We've collected liquidity all the way up to this point here at 0.346, which is good. I think this is the midpoint of this range that was created here. A little above the midpoint. Nice. This is good. I think we're done with this rally here. I think it's safe to short Cardano right now. On a 1 hour time frame, we're bouncing here at the midpoint RSI. So we're probably gonna set up a range of some sort over here. Let me just we're gonna set some sort of range. Maybe we get this sweep of the range high, rejection, boom, or we continue going lower. Either way, I think it's a good place to start shorting Cardano right now. At least, if not all the way down, like if you look at this whole run up, right? We haven't really retraced anywhere. It was just a very single-sided run up. So if you just look at this, the midpoint is at 0.285. So even if you do short this, say at midpoint again, with your stop loss around here, you get the midpoint at this point here at you're looking at 11% downswing with a 7.65% risk for Cardano. I think you should just give it a shot. I want to see what the order flow is like for Cardano. Holy shit, what is this? 20.5 million? I'm pretty sure that's, yeah, I think it's That doesn't seem right. I think it's just a mistake, but let's actually check if it's true. Holy shit, it is true. 20 million shorts? Are you kidding me? I think it happened because of this particular run up at 9 o'clock. At 9 o'clock. Yeah, I think it happened perfect. Wait, what? Yep, at 7 o'clock basically. Okay, amazing. What's happened with Cardano? I think this is a good sign, right? Like you see, this massive short liquidation. It means that the liquidity. So either a lot of early bears got wrecked, or this is a clear sign of liquidity engineering, or it could be both. Either way, the OI is decreasing. The CVD is also decreasing. It's a pretty good place to short Cardano. I think I'm just going to do that again. Right? There's a lot of okay. Honestly, with 20 million liquidations, I don't see why Cardano price should go up another time. But I'm just warning you guys, be careful with this particular thing here. Just give me 1 sec so I can short Cardano right now. Okay, what's the current price? I think I'm just gonna go take a short position right now. Open a short. Stop loss at 0.346. Take profit at 0.2852 and open a short. There you go. And then we have, I'm gonna place another limit at 0.3212 with the same stop loss. 0.346, 0.2852. There we go. And just another stink bid at the range high or somewhere around here. Okay, I don't want to do this. Let's actually, I'm gonna leave a stink bid here at 0.346 just in case. 0.351, 0.2852. Cool. Yeah, so I've opened Cardano short position as well. What's next? Sol or Matic? Let's do both. Okay, clearly there's a ton of liquidity or inefficiency present here, basically extending all the way down to 13.8, 13.8. So if we get another push up to this one, it's a no-brainer short position. You should open a short position here and book profit somewhere around here from a 15-minute time frame perspective. Let's see what's happening on a 4-hour time frame. Price has produced equal highs with RSI, but higher highs on the price action. So do we collect liquidity down here? Just 1 sec. A lot of liquidity here as well. Like honestly, I wouldn't mind if we collect liquidity down here. Yeah, so but for those that open short positions at $17, right? Make sure to like take some size off at $15, and some more at $15, and leave the rest all the way down to 13.9. So basically this is what I'm looking at for Sol. One sec. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's what's happening with Sol. Let's take a look at, okay, hold up. Bouncing off the 50 on 1 hour time frame. So definitely gonna see, okay, yeah. Things are fine. Okay, so clearly you can see this was the last impulse move. Right after this, the price drop again over here. And if I were to remove all this clutter for you guys, right, what it is essentially a clean triple tap setup, right? Deviation, retest, deviation, retest, boom, that's it, right? And if you look at, let me check all of this out. Okay, this is where the initial move started, and this is where the bottom of the impulse move, right? Clearly we've crossed 50 and retested the 62 fib. As you can see, 62 fib is over here, kind of made way up to this point, but you can see this resistance level was pretty good, and we've gotten rejected here. On a 1 hour time frame, there is a good market structure shift that's taken place here, right? We have a small gap here in terms of FVG, and that was also retested here. So technically you should have opened a short position at this point. Stop loss around here and take profit. This is where the rally actually began. This is where it ended. The lowest hanging fruit is the midpoint, and if you want to play it a little risky, you could potentially book profits at 62, right? So this is what I'm expecting, right? But right, if you just look at it from a line chart perspective, right, this looks like a range that is ongoing. We have swept the range low right now, so we could consolidate a bit more, retest this again, and make way up to the midpoint, or maybe even 62 fib, get rejected here and then move down. Or this could extend, deviate above the range high, which is unlikely in my opinion, and then come down here, right? So basically what I'm saying is, obviously we weren't here for this short position, so place limit orders here, right at the midpoint, and then open a pilot short around here. The stop loss for both of which is going to be just above the range high here at this point, right? Again, take profit at 62, take profit at 62. If you are conservative, book profit at midpoint, which is 0.822. And riskier positions can be closed at, I mean, if you're taking in more risk, you can close a position at 0.8106. That's it for Matic. Let's do Doge. Actually, I haven't done Doge in this chart for quite some time, so let's see what's happening here. Yeah, so Doge has basically, like, we had a nice little breakout from this multi-year downtrend, how long was this downtrend? Was basically 532 days, right? And then the price broke out amazingly. And if you use your fib extensions here, you can see I think we've breached 79 as well. So basically, come down below 79, and what's happening right now is that it's formed. I think there is a potential that we see some sort of a triple tap setup for Dogecoin. So what I mean is that this is where the support level is present. We've currently deviated below the support level, and ideally this would be a good place to, like, I would love for this shit to happen, right? But looking at the inefficiency down here, we could get something like this, right? Like we had this so far, and then maybe yo, 1 sec. We had this, so maybe we get something like this down into this support, right? Followed by a one up. This is what I'm expecting, right? Even if it's a triple tap setup, there is no liquidity, to be very honest, that needs to be collected. So the triple tap setup is a little needs to be taken with a grain of salt. So yeah, I think the good place to buy Doge in case things go south for Bitcoin, that is $15,444. If Bitcoin price sweeps 15.4K, then you can expect Doge to come down to this level here at 0.062, 0.063, 0.061. That's a good place to accumulate Doge. Yeah, so I think we looked at Wu yesterday. I want to check this coin and then we can end the stream here. Holy. Okay. What? The mother of all OIs. How much is this? $36 million spike in OI coming in basically from the futures. We've had liquidation on both sides. Interesting. Yeah, I think we're done for Wu as well. I think let's go down to a lower time frame. We could be forming some sort of a distributed pattern here. Honestly, there's no reason why Wu should stay up. Go, look, it almost retested the 5th November levels, right? After dropping 47%. How much has it rallied right now? 70% upswing. And as I mentioned yesterday, right? I think this was a nice little, I don't know, double bottom Adam and Eve pattern. Say what you will about it. And this should have been the max, right? 70.5, but it looks like we've gone way higher than anyone could have anticipated. But so basically, what we have here is the buying climax. Let's just turn back this stuff over here. I think we should just wait. I'm so excited to short this right now. I don't know what to do. I'm drawing a blank right now, to be very honest. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna let it be here for a while because honestly, if we produce this candlestick right on a daily time frame, if it closes below 70.5 here at 0.1722, I think then I wouldn't mind shorting this because we haven't really seen it retrace right from this point. So basically this, I think this was just a midpoint retrace, even if you consider wicks from up here, right? It was just a midpoint retrace. So I generally don't consider this. So if you use your impulse, your normal fib extensions, right? Forget about this for now. So you can see there's a pretty good chance there's a pretty good chance we could get a nice shot all the way down to the midpoint here, or into this particular inefficiency pocket that is present, right? So fuck, let me just change the color for this. Right, so yeah, I think you know what, I'm just gonna short Wu as well, very small position. What the heck? Okay, cool. Open Wu short as well. Let's go. Damn. Okay. Nice little bounce from a weekly demand zone. Yeah, so at least expect a retracement down to 0.3597, 3.36 basically. So I think there's a triple tap setup happening here on a lower time frame. Yeah, so yeah, it looks pretty good, dude. Honestly, I think I wouldn't mind. Like there's a little bit of liquidity here and inefficiency present up here. So a scalp position for this would be good. If you guys want to take this, I think you should just go for it. Okay, there we go. I think this is a good scalp, in my opinion. There is no inefficiency present down here, so we should be good. Like if they're aggressively hunting stops, uh, or if you get something like this here again, so you could get wrecked. But honestly, this looks like a good short scalp, in my opinion. I think you guys should take it. It's pretty, yeah. But from a high time frame perspective, we haven't really had any steep corrections up to this point. But yeah, I think this can be extended down to this point here, making it a nice 11% trade. Although I would be a little cautious with the stop loss. Yeah. So apart from that, I think Mana also looks pretty good. Yeah. So do you guys have any questions with the coins that we discussed so far or the concepts? If you guys do, just let me know in the chat. I have a couple calls that I need to attend. Okay, so I guess you guys don't have any questions. Let me just end the stream with data. Dude, looks pretty similar. Excuse me. In terms of price action, what's happening here looks pretty similar to Mana, right? So let me think it'll be pretty clear if I. Okay, never mind. Yeah, so it is pretty similar to Mana. Yep, all the inefficiency that was present here on 15-minute time frame, at least up to this point, is filled. There was a good amount of resistance here. It's on a 4-hour time frame. Right, so we're currently getting rejected here, and if you just take a look at this, a move down to 0.782 seems plausible, right? Again, take everything that I discussed today with a grain of salt because my short thesis is completely reliant on the fact that Bitcoin retraces lower because of what's happening here, right? So if that doesn't happen, then you guys should potentially consider closing your short positions or cutting them, right, at a loss. So yeah, that pretty much concludes the live stream today. Do you still just up 22%? What do you mean? Bruh, we already saw that. Don't scare me like that. We already saw that. Yeah, do you BN what about the BNB short and copy trading that we forgot about? Should we just leave it and wait? Oh shit, yeah, about that. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna stick like let me see what's happening. Yeah, I think see, honestly, I'm not in a hurry to close this position because if my short thesis is true for Bitcoin, we should see BNB retrace down to this level here, so we could, although we'll be closing it at a loss, I think there's a pretty good chance if you're patient, we could come all the way down into this pocket of inefficiency here, or at least at break even, right? So if you guys okay, honestly, I'm not in a hurry to switch platforms right now. Although I do want to switch TraderWagon because I cannot access it on my phone. It's there's a lot of hassle. It's a hassle to be very honest. So what I'm gonna do is after the BNB is completed, I'm just gonna close that, transfer my whole portfolio to PrimeXBT or some other platform that you guys suggest, if it's convenient, or I'm just gonna forget about copy trading for now and start trading as usual. If I take any positions, I'm gonna share the setups with you guys on Discord. But I think if we keep doing the live streams as we are, it shouldn't be a problem, right? Because all the setups that I provide are basically done live, and you guys just can go back and copy the setups. Right, then we can discuss in the Discord if the setup is still valid or not. I think that is the best direction to go from here on, instead of copy trading and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Don, I answered your question on YouTube. Copy trading on BitGet, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, right? Honestly, copy trading is a hassle because you got to maintain two accounts, and I honestly don't want to do that. Maybe I'll switch to Prime XBT to trade Forex in the future, but I think for now I'll just stick to Binance, and whatever trade setups I take, I provide it to you guys on live stream, and we can discuss that in Discord. That way, yeah, I think it's a win-win for all of you guys, right? So, yeah, wait, what data? There isn't any interesting data releasing today. Okay, yeah, there was a Powell speech that I even happened. Happened half an hour ago, 45 minutes ago. Okay, guys, that is pretty much it for me and the stream. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share my tweets or whatever, right? Just yeah, help me gain followers. Stay safe, trade safe, peace.